I wasn't going to mention it, but okay, fine. You guys brought it up. The last couple of nights, something weird has happened. I've been awake in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, just after 3. And as I'm lying there, I feel my hair move. And I'm like, geez, that's kind of odd. So I just thought, I'm just going to lie here and see what happens. And this has happened multiple nights in a row now. It starts with something like, it feels like somebody touching my face or something, then my hair. And it just spreads. And next thing I know, it feels like I'm being poked or prodded all over. And I'm wide awake, guys, wide awake. And I know I'm wide awake because the strange thing is, I was woken up this morning at 3:18 by somebody banging the window to our bedroom. 9 years, I've heard the deck, the screws in the deck, they pop and creak when we have a heavy frost. Never heard anything hit the window before. And I know I'm not dreaming or was crazy because my wife sat bolt upright in bed and said, "What the hell was that?" We both heard it. And she went right back to sleep, within 5 minutes. But then I'm lying there awake, and this is the third night in a row. And again, I feel my hair move. I feel my face and my shoulder and right down my arm. Not a tingling like I get out here in the woods where I go, oh, the hair is standing up on the back of my neck. I had time to contemplate this. This is how long this happened last night. I'm like, it's not like the hairs on my neck are standing up. It felt like somebody doing this to my face. I can't explain it, guys. So I just basically meditated, remained calm, and just kind of sent my, self out through meditative process. I didn't get any answers. I don't know what was going on. Eventually I fell asleep, but that has happened multiple nights in a row. I wasn't going to mention it because I sound crazy, but something weird is going on. And then you pair that with the bang on the window. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that it happened and my wife heard that part as well. I haven't mentioned the somebody running their fingers through my hair because I know what she'll say to that. Like, she already thinks I'm crazy, right? So, but have any of you guys had a weird experience like that? Now, the other thing I thought was, Uncle Harv passed away, but I don't think Uncle Harv would be running his fingers through my hair. I should mention that I wasn't scared at all. Like, it wasn't like, oh God. It wasn't... I was calm through this whole thing. I was like, almost felt peaceful. It was weird. Yeah, no, definitely felt peaceful, guys. Like, I easily slipped into a meditative state while remaining aware of my body and what was going on around me in this feeling. But it was like an energy. Okay, let's put it like that. Not only was I feeling like, something touching my skin and my hair, there was an energy. It felt electric. Like I could feel energy all around me. I don't know what it was. I'm waiting to see if it happens again. I mean, it's 3 nights in a row it's happened. I'll let you know. And then I was like, maybe I should try to record this, but then I'm like, no, my wife would really be upset if I did that. What's the camera on the dresser for, dear? As Ryan tells his wife, that red light doesn't mean anything, honey. Crack that bottle of wine. Good afternoon, everybody. Just heading back out into the swamp. Trying to figure out what this warm, glowing substance hitting me in the face is. It has been rainy and cold for 2 weeks up here. And still very windy today. Now, I did notice in the last video I made for you guys out in the swamp, super windy. I mean, howling through the treetops. You guys won't hear it on this camera. We've got a dead cat on here. And somebody asked me in the comments, what is that on the top of your camera? And I told them it's a toupee for Sony cameras. It looks like a bad 1976 hairpiece. Something my grandfather should have worn, but didn't. So anyway, that thing is great for this kind of vlogging stuff back and forth, being a foot away from the camera, but it doesn't pick up any ambient sounds around here, wood knocks, screams, things like that, do not come across very good in our recordings. So from now on, when we're out in the swamp, we're going to be using the camcorder. I may put an external mic on this camera if we want to use it, but again, it means that I have to keep switching the microphone depending whether I'm behind or in front of the camera, and we did that for a year, and it's not conducive to Gary getting things done easily, right? So if it's not easy, I tend not to do it. So why am I in the woods today? We're going to actually use my Zoom H2N recorder. This thing is 10 years old, and it is a marvel. The recordings, the audio recordings we get on this, and we use this on our homemade parabolic dish. Fantastic. I do not own a recording device which is as clear and just has all kinds of options for surround and 2-channel, 4-channel, an amazing product. And what I'm hoping to do today is to get some recordings of the wind up in the trees, because you guys don't even realize, but I do add ambient sounds into backgrounds of like our trail cam videos and things like that, which don't have sound. I make all my own recordings. So if it's nighttime, you know, I'm out, I've recorded crickets, rain, wind, we do it all, I've recorded it all, but it's just been so windy the last week that I think it's a great opportunity to get some new wind recordings with this thing. That's why I'm out here. We're back at the first trail camera here right now. So I might as well grab that SD card while we're here and see what's on it as well, and make some recordings. That's the plan for today. I was a little disappointed this week, guys, after spending $3,000 on the full frame wonder that is this new Sony ZV-E1. You know, and then we bought the lens for it, and I thought this is great, an ultralight full frame setup for vlogging. And then DJI comes out with the Pocket 3, the Osmo Pocket 3, which is a gimbal, 1-inch sensor now. Thing weighs under half a pound total. It has the ability to spin around in 360 degrees. Do you guys remember back in the day we tried the Fimi Palm? I bought one of those and I really liked it, but it didn't have a 1-inch sensor, and it had some issues being the first iteration of that camera to come out. So it just had some weird stuff where the camera wouldn't turn all the time when you press the button and things like that. I'm sure they worked it out over time and years, but apparently this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is an amazing piece of vlogging gear. So I was a little upset that A, they didn't ask us to review it, and B, that it came out right after we bought this system. But I have plans on using this system for a lot of other things, not just vlogging, so it's okay, because in the end I'm looking for a full frame mirrorless system that we can change lenses on, and that's what this ZV-E1 is. So I'm not too upset about it. Super windy right now on the rock outcropping that we're standing on, so I don't know. This is also a good test for this internal microphone to see, you know, is this 76 hairpiece doing its job when there's direct wind on the camera? I think so, I don't know. And if it's not, that's okay too. We shouldn't really be out recording in conditions like this, so if I get anything that's usable, and if we don't, I've actually found some really cool tools in the Power Director suite that I use for removing wind noise. I did an interview with my buddy Doug Cox at the cemetery last year, and the wind was so strong on the microphone, I thought we were going to lose the whole recording. And there's a couple settings we can, an automatic wind noise removal tool, and then there's one that we can adjust the settings, and it worked perfect. You guys would never know that it was the middle of a windstorm when we did that interview, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm also working on the review for the Athlon Chronos G2 scope that Athlon so kindly sent us. A pretty cool little scope, guys. It's a bad time of year to be doing that because there's no birds. Everything's starting to migrate south. Even the geese every morning, they're heading out. Frosty, cold. We can get some deer and we can get some ducks on the river, things like that. And so stay tuned for that review. It's an amazing piece of gear. I'm going to have to do something with that scope when I'm done the review. I don't need 2 scopes. As you guys know, I purchased my own Kowa scope, which was top of the line. Even it is better quality than this Athlon. The Athlon is about $1,400 Canadian, and it's pretty good for what it is, but my Kowa scope is in a league of its own. If you're gonna do birding and photography and videography, I think the Athlon, it's not the #1 choice. Professionals will spend thousands of dollars more to get a little bit better gear, right? So that's my take on it. Is there is better gear out there. Yes, it's gonna cost a lot more, but I'll show you guys it's quite capable for what it is. And if you were just to use this thing as just a spotting scope, by all means, it does an amazing job. But then the question is, do you need to spend $1,400 on a spotting scope if you're just using it for just spotting purposes? No, probably a $500 scope would do the same thing. So it's kind of it's a mid-tier product, high end of the mid-tier section is what I would say. But anyway, stay tuned for that review, guys. That'll be coming out in the next week or so. So I did get some recordings back up there on the big rock. Maybe I'll just put a little sample in here so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I say that the zoom is super clear. Well, you guys who watch the channel know, if you've seen any of the parabolic videos that we make, all those recordings are made with this. So, but very clear, super awesome. And if the wind would die down, I would like to set up outside maybe a camera and the audio recorder. There's no point in doing it when the wind has been howling like this for a week straight. We're not going to get much in terms of recordings. But while this weird stuff is going on at night here, I would like to set up something on the deck or maybe under the deck. See what we can capture. You never know what we're going to record. Also, if there's any trail cam captures on this SD card, it's been back out there for a couple weeks. I'll throw those in the video right now. So enjoy, guys. Just a quick update. We'll catch you in the next adventure.